And this is the last warning. Goodness costs you power. People who want something from you will always find a reason to not give anything back. They will take your kindness for granted. They will exploit your compassion. They will abuse your patience, and they will sacrifice your peace on the altar of their convenience. In the game of life, there is no such thing as unconditional help. Every favor asked for or received creates a debt that needs to be settled. Either you will collect on the favor done unto you, or you will pay for the favor you have done unto others. What you sow, you reap. If you show mercy, you can expect no mercy when you fall. If you offer kindness, you will have no shield when evil is thrown at you. If you are generous, then know that no one will remember your generosity when they stab you in the back. And if you help people out of the goodness of your heart, then just know that they don't owe you loyalty. They don't owe you friendship. They don't owe you anything except perhaps scorn when they turn on you. And believe me, they will turn on you because that's just how the world works. In this video, we will explore the dark truth about goodness. We will discuss why being good is often an expensive trait. We will explain why goodness is not just a personal cost, but a power play. And we will analyze why history has never been kind to the good, but rewards ruthlessness. By the end of this video, you will understand why it is smarter to be bad than good. So listen carefully. Welcome to the channel. The first cost of goodness is that it doesn't just cost you power, it costs you time. Good men think others are like them. They assume people are honest because they are honest themselves. But while they waste time believing in the best of others, the bad men waste no time sharpening their lies. The snakes lie in wait, hidden among the grass, preparing to strike. The fools kill the snake only after it bites him. When the serpent of betrayal strikes, the good man wastes hours punishing the snake instead of killing it swiftly, while the bad man kills the snake and then spends his time milking its belly for venom. Every hour you hesitate to punish betrayal, your enemies gather more courage. Every day you delay decisive action in the name of mercy, you lose ground that cannot be regained. Time is the currency of power, and goodness drains it. The good man waits, hoping others will change. The wise man acts, knowing others will not. The good man hesitates, hoping men will remember his kindness. The wise man strikes, ensuring men never forget his strength. The cost of goodness is wasted time, and time wasted is power surrendered. Consider how quickly fear works compared to love. Love must be built slowly, with gifts, with words, with gestures. It requires constant tending, like a fragile fire that dies without fuel. But fear is instant. One act of punishment silences doubt more than 100 acts of generosity. Fear demands no tending. It does not decay easily. Once burned into memory, it remains. The wise ruler, therefore, does not spend years purchasing loyalty with gifts only to lose it in a moment. He buys obedience with fear, and it lasts a lifetime. The second cost of goodness is that it blinds you to the reality of others. The good man sees angels where there are demons. The bad man sees demons where there are angels. That is because the bad man knows human nature better. They realize that men will stab you in the back when you least expect it. They know that gratitude is rare and revenge is common. They see treachery where others see loyalty. Now, I know this sounds pessimistic, but that is the point. By understanding the darkness within others, you protect yourself from it. When you recognize that others would happily throw you under the bus, you won't be caught off guard. And when you expect betrayal, you are ready to fight back. The good man trusts his instincts. The bad man trusts his intellect. One lives in a world of dreams, the other lives in reality. And which one of them survives longer? The third cost of goodness is that it leads to weakness. The world is won by those who think like wolves. Wolves hunt in packs. They have a hierarchy. They know who the alpha male is. They follow the strongest. They do not care about feelings. They do not care about mercy. They simply follow the pack leader. Such men are driven. They are goal-oriented. They understand the value of time. They see weakness and exploit it. And they destroy anyone who threatens their dominance. But the good man? He is a lamb in wolf's clothing. He wants to be strong, but he lacks the killer instinct. He is surrounded by wolves, but he is clueless about their nature. He calls them friends, yet he has no idea they are waiting for him to become weak so they can devour him. The good man lacks cunning. He fails to read others. He refuses to learn about human behavior. He believes everything he is told. And in doing so, he falls into traps laid by those more intelligent than himself. Remember this: strength is not physical. It is mental. Strength is the ability to dominate others through cunning and strategy. Weakness is allowing others to control you through trickery and deceit. The fourth cost of goodness is that it invites contempt. Let me ask you a question. Who do you admire more? A warrior who fights dirty to win, or a knight who plays fair and loses? If you said the knight, you are a fool. Do not be deceived by appearances. The warrior wins because he is willing to do what is necessary. He does not hold back. He fights with any weapon at hand. He uses any means necessary to achieve his goals. He is not concerned with honor. He is concerned with results. And the world rewards results. The knight may be honorable, but he lacks practicality. He sticks to rules that protect the weak. He is bound by laws that make him predictable. And the warrior destroys him because he is willing to break the rules, break the laws, and break the knight's bones. The warrior understands the harsh truth. The world does not reward the good. It rewards the capable. It rewards the ruthless, the strong, and the cunning. The fifth cost of goodness is that it leads to obsession. You see, the good man does not accept the darkness in himself. He refuses to acknowledge the existence of evil. He thinks evil can be reasoned with, negotiated with, appeased with, and in doing so he becomes obsessed with goodness. He becomes a fanatic, and fanatics are dangerous people. They do not tolerate other viewpoints. They do not respect differing opinions. They do not accept dissent. They believe they are right, absolutely right, and everyone else is wrong. And when a fanatic becomes powerful, he imposes his views on others. He turns goodness into godliness. He turns compassion into coercion. And he turns tolerance into tyranny. Fanatics are the worst kind of rulers. They are power-hungry. They are control freaks. And they use religion, morality, and ethics to legitimize their abuses. I am not saying goodness is bad, but when you become obsessed with it, when you let it consume you, it distorts your vision and corrupts your power. Now here's a bonus point. Goodness also costs you peace. Think about it. When you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you choose to be ruthless, you must be prepared to face ruthlessness. If you choose to harm others, you must be ready to feel pain. If you choose to be cruel, you must be ready for people to treat you badly. But when you choose goodness, you expose yourself to the evils of the world. You allow malice and hatred to enter your life, and these things do not bring peace. In conclusion, I want you to remember this. Being good is costly, it's expensive. It requires a lot of investment. And if you're not careful, it will bankrupt you. It will drain your resources. It will waste your time, and it will leave you vulnerable. However, being bad is cheaper. It's easier, it's less taxing, and it offers more benefits. In fact, being bad is smarter because it allows you to conserve your resources. It helps you protect yourself, and it lets you focus on achieving your goals. Of course, the key is balance. Don't be overly brutal. Don't be excessively cunning. Don't be unnecessarily deceitful. Use these traits when necessary. Save them for emergencies, but keep them close. Keep them on standby. Be ready to use them when the situation calls for it. In other words, don't be purely good, be good enough. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to watch this video next. Don't forget to subscribe for more weekly content. Thanks for watching. And that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed our reading of The Prince. If you have any thoughts or opinions about the lessons we read today or any of the other lessons, feel free to share them in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more daily wisdom. Thank you for watching. When I talk about female nature, I am talking about the traits that women display in groups and across cultures. I'm not saying all women are the same. We're still individuals with different personalities, preferences, and behaviors. Female nature is a translation of a book written in another language. The author wanted to explain to the Western world how Eastern women behave in relationships and in bed. In this book, the author talks about 5 things that women do to break men. No, 1, make you fall head over heels in love with them. Women don't play games, they go straight for the kill. They put you through a series of tests to see if you're worthy of their attention. If you pass, then you get a little bit of her time. If you fail, you're discarded and replaced. She ignore you, humiliate you, provoke you, keep you waiting. She might even pretend she doesn't know you to see if you're willing to grovel and beg for her affection. Most men cave in and become desperate. They chase, flatter, buy gifts, try harder. They think that if they just do or say the right thing, they'll finally win her over. But women are not won over by grand gestures. They're won over by consistency, reliability, character. A woman doesn't fall in love with the guy who impresses her once. She falls in love with the guy who treats her right consistently, day after day, year after year. A man who craves female attention tends to make poor choices. You'll often see these guys hanging around the wrong crowd or engaging in risky behaviors just to impress a girl. They become obsessed with buying her expensive clothes, handbags, jewelry, just to show off their wealth. These guys are always falling for the same tricks. They think that all girls are the same and that if they just buy the right dress, handbag, or perfume, that they'll have the girl of their dreams. I've seen too many guys fall victim to the same tricks. They end up spending their entire paycheck on gifts, dinners, parties, just to please a girl. And what do they get in return? Heartbreak. Women can smell desperation from a mile away. They're turned off by men who are too available or too eager. They want someone who's confident, independent, who has his own life and who doesn't revolve around them. No, 2, play hard to get. The hard to get mentality is basically the idea that women want men who are challenging to obtain. Women don't want someone who gives in easily. They want someone who fights for them, who shows them that they're worth the effort. Women are attracted to mystery. They want a man who has depth, who's not afraid to show his true colors, who's not afraid to show his intelligence. Women are attracted to intelligence. They want a man who can challenge them, who can push them to grow, who can stimulate their minds. So if you're playing hard to get, you need to be smart. You need to be able to hold your own in a conversation, to be able to offer something valuable, to be able to make her think. Don't play stupid games just for the sake of it. If you do, you'll come across as just another guy trying too hard. No, 3, push you away when you get too close. The reality is that most women simply don't want a real relationship. They want a fling. They want a man who's available for sex, who can give them what they want when they want it, and who doesn't ask too many questions. For these women, love is just a word. They don't really feel it. They just say it to get what they want. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any women out there who want a real relationship, who want to love and be loved. There are. But the ones who actually want a real relationship, who want to build something special, are few and far between. If a woman is playing games with you, pushing you away when you get too close, it's a sign that she doesn't want a real relationship. She wants a fling. She wants a man who's available for sex, who can give her what she wants when she wants it, and who doesn't ask too many questions. If this sounds harsh, if you're thinking that I'm being unfair, maybe I am. But I'd rather be harsh than naive. I'd rather be realistic than optimistic. You see, I've learned from my mistakes. I've been burned before. I've wasted years of my life chasing women who weren't interested. I've spent countless hours trying to fix relationships that were never fixable. I've cried myself to sleep at night wondering where I went wrong, and you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth the pain, the heartache, the wasted time. The best thing you can do is walk away. Run away from the drama, the lies, the manipulation. Run away from women who play games. No, 4, talk sweetly, but stab you in the back. Some women can be manipulative and deceitful. They may seem kind and trustworthy, but they may also be hiding their true intentions. It's important to be aware of this possibility and to take steps to protect yourself from being taken advantage of. One way to protect yourself is to be cautious when sharing personal information or making decisions. Do and share more than you re comfortable with, and do and make decisions that you re not ready to make. Another way to protect yourself is to set boundaries. Be clear about what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. Don't be afraid to say no or to walk away from a situation that makes you uncomfortable. Finally, trust your instincts. If you feel like something isn't right, then it probably isn't. Don't ignore red flags or try to rationalize away your intuition. Remember, you are your best defense against manipulation and deceit. By being cautious, setting boundaries, and trusting your instincts, you can protect yourself from those who might want to do you harm. No. 5. Tell you what you want to hear. Women are capable of being cruel and heartless. They can use their words to inflict emotional pain and destroy your sense of self-worth. They may use tactics such as gaslighting or emotional manipulation to make you question your own judgment and to make you doubt your own memories and experiences. If you find yourself in a situation where a woman is telling you what you want to hear, it's important to take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. Don't let your emotions cloud your judgment. Try to see the situation from an outsider's perspective. Ask yourself whether the person's words are truly beneficial to you or if they read just empty flattery designed to manipulate you. It's also important to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to speak up and tell the person that their words are hurtful or that you don't appreciate their behavior. Remember, you have the right to protect yourself from emotional abuse and manipulation. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek support from others. Talk to friends, family members, or mental health professionals about what you're going through. They can provide you with the emotional support and guidance you need to navigate this difficult situation. In conclusion, women can be ruthless. They can hurt you with their words and destroy your sense of self-worth. But don't let it get to you. Stay calm, analyze the situation objectively, set boundaries, and seek support from others. By following these tips, you can protect yourself from emotional abuse and manipulation and come out of the situation stronger than ever. Now, there is one trait that separates those who rule from those who are ruled. Those who endure from those who are consumed. It is not beauty, it is not wealth, it is not even intelligence. It is a trait older than kingdoms, sharper than swords, and more decisive than armies. It is adaptability. The ability to bend without breaking, to change form as the world shifts, to wear a mask when truth is dangerous, and to reveal the dagger when opportunity demands it. This is the unfair advantage, the one trait that makes you untouchable. You see, the world belongs to those who dare to take what they want and keep what they have. The one who takes the world is not the strongest of all, nor the most talented, but the most adaptable. The one who holds on to everything loses it all. The adaptable man, however, knows how to let go. He has learned that sometimes to hold on to something, you must first let it go. You see, we often think of life as a game where we have to win every battle, where we must be tough and never back down. But that's a limited view of life. In reality, life is a series of battles, some of which you should walk away from. The adaptable man is the warrior who studies his enemy and doesn't fight every battle. He picks his fights carefully, knowing when to strike and when to walk away. A friend of mine shared a story with me about his neighbor who had worked hard his whole life and finally retired. He spent his days fishing and drinking wine. But the thing is, he refused to change his attitude. Even after retirement, he kept saying work expands to fill the time available. He said that even when he went fishing, he found himself thinking about his work. Then one day, he sat down on a park bench and realized that he had nothing else to do. He embraced it and suddenly found himself at peace. See, the man who cannot adapt is bound by his own habits. He repeats the same mistakes. He clings to outdated beliefs. He trusts in virtues that no longer serve him. And while he waits for the world to reward his loyalty to old ways, the adaptable man has already taken his place, his power, his future. Do you see the difference between the two? One lives enslaved by his mind, the other free by design. Now, you might ask, where does this adaptability come from? How does a man develop this trait that even kings and emperors struggle with? Well, it starts with understanding human nature. You have to understand that everyone craves security, that everyone fears loss, and that everyone is selfish. And then you have to decide to act against these instincts. When everyone flees for safety, you make a stand. When everyone seeks to hoard more, you give it all. When everyone indulges in self-pity, you help others. That's how you build the character of adaptability. You reverse engineer your way into becoming who you need to be to achieve your desired outcome. Take the example of the general. If he wants to win the war, he needs to read the battlefield, study the enemy, and adjust his strategies as needed. A master strategist once said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." The inflexible general sticks to his plan regardless of the changing situation on the ground. He marches forward based on the calculations he made 5 days ago, not realizing that the enemy has shifted their defenses or brought reinforcements. Inflexible plans lead to defeats, but the adaptable general adjusts. He sees that his initial plan is not working and changes course. He sends out scouts, gathers new intelligence, and modifies his strategy to account for the latest developments. His troops may grumble, his officers may complain, but the general does not waver. He adapts because winning the war is more important than sticking to a schedule or saving face. The same applies to business. The entrepreneur who refuses to change their product, their pricing, or their marketing in response to market feedback or economic shifts will eventually be outcompeted. They cling to yesterday's success as if it guarantees tomorrow's victory, but markets change and so must you. The adaptable entrepreneur watches competitors, listens to customers, and stays updated on industry trends. They tweak their offerings, experiment with new channels, and adjust to economic fluctuations. They don't fear failure or change. In fact, they embrace it as part of the process. They know that adapting quickly and effectively is what separates successful businesses from those that fail, but adaptability is unfair because most men despise it. They call it hypocrisy, they call it dishonesty, they call it ruthlessness. But these are the words of the powerless, of the rigid, of those who lack the courage to transform. The truth is simple: the world changes constantly. Fortune is a storm that destroys those who stand still. Only those who move with it, who change course without hesitation, survive its wrath. The man who is only good will be ruined by those who are not. The man who is only honest will be destroyed by lies. The man who is only merciful will be consumed by wolves. But the man who can be good and then ruthless, honest and then deceptive, merciful and then merciless, this man cannot be defeated. He is unpredictable. He cannot be trapped, for he does not stay in one form long enough to be captured. Think of water. Water can flow around obstacles, adapt to new containers, and even erode solid rocks over time. It's incredibly patient, yet incredibly powerful. Similarly, the adaptable man does not fight every battle. He goes around the obstacles, finding openings where others don't even look. He exploits vulnerabilities and turns weaknesses into strengths. While others waste time planning revenge or holding on to ideals, the adaptable man makes progress. He may seem opportunistic or even treacherous to the untrained eye, but he is simply playing the hand that fortune has dealt him. Adaptability is not just about being flexible, it's also about being proactive. It means recognizing the signs of change early on and preparing in advance. While others sleepwalk into crisis, the adaptable man takes action. He invests in skills that allow him to pivot quickly when the winds of fortune shift. He builds networks that provide him with information and resources to navigate any situation. He keeps his options open, maintaining flexibility so that he can pursue new opportunities that align with his goals. The great philosopher Lao Tzu once wrote, "Be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are." When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. These words may sound like advice to surrender and accept things as they are, but they actually convey the opposite idea. Lao Tzu is telling us to be content with our current state because it means we have achieved a level of mastery. We have adapted to our environment and reached a point where we have very little desire to change it. The world essentially belongs to us because we have made it ours. We have tamed it to fit our needs and goals. This realization is what true power is all about. It's not about dominating the world, but about shaping it according to our will. It's about having the confidence and skills to adapt to any situation and emerge victorious. To be truly powerful, we must learn to navigate the complexities of human relationships and situations with finesse. We must cultivate empathy, understanding, and the ability to inspire and persuade others. By mastering these skills, we gain influence over people, and that is the ultimate form of power. You see, adaptability is not a trait we are born with. It's a muscle we develop through conscious effort and practice. It requires a certain level of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and the courage to act despite uncertainty. Like any skill, it can be developed with dedication and perseverance. So hone your ability to adapt, my friends. Learn to navigate the complexities of life with grace and resilience. And remember that true power comes not from brute force or rigid principles, but from our capacity to understand and shape the world around us. Embrace change, learn from adversity, and above all, remain adaptable. For in adaptability we discover our unfair advantage. It is the key that unlocks our true potential and allows us to thrive in an ever-changing world. Thank you for watching this video. Now go out there and become the master of your own destiny. I hope this video gave you some valuable insight. If it did, show your support and don't forget to follow for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. The unteachable skills, those skills that truly matter, those skills that few people have and that can change your life forever. Here is one of the most powerful, sharpest, and effective, yet overlooked skills that you must master. Adaptability is not simply a skill, it is a weapon sharper than steel. It is the silent dagger hidden beneath the cloak, the weapon no one sees until it strikes. Power is never in the hands of the strongest alone. It rests in the hands of those who can transform as the world transforms. Men cling to certainty. They build their identities like statues, unchanging, carved in stone. I am honest, they say. I am merciful, I am fair, I am loyal. But stone may be admired, it does not survive the flood. The adaptable man is not stone. He is water. He reshapes himself, slipping through cracks, wearing down mountains, filling every gap until nothing can contain him. This is why adaptability is unfair. It cannot be defeated because it cannot be pinned down. Consider the fox. Small, fragile compared to the lion, yet it survives because it adapts. It outsmarts traps, escapes hunters, bends to every change. Now consider the lion strong, feared, admired. But if the lion cannot adapt, if he falls into a pit he did not expect, his strength means nothing. Machiavelli said, "A ruler must be both lion and fox, but above all he must know when to be which." The rigid man never knows. He insists on roaring like a lion even when cunning is needed. He insists on playing the fox when only force will save him. He dies because he refuses to change. The adaptable man survives because he knows when to shift. He is lion in one breath, fox in the next, never one thing for too long. This flexibility is his unfair advantage. History is littered with the ruins of men who refused to adapt. The Spartan way of life was rigid, unchanging, glorifying tradition above all. For centuries they were feared, but when the world shifted, they could not. Their rigidity became their grave. Rome endured far longer because it adapted, taking the gods of its enemies, their weapons, their strategies, their roads, their culture, turning everything into its own power. Rome conquered not because it was rigid, but because it absorbed, it adapted, it transformed. Even in modern times, you see the same truth. Businesses that refuse to change are destroyed overnight. Leaders who cling to yesterday's methods are forgotten. Nations that resist adaptation collapse under their own weight. But those who adapt become immortal. They bend to survive and then rise again stronger. Adaptability is rare. Most men are chained by pride. They cannot abandon the mask they once wore. They cannot admit they must change. They would rather cling to their past self and die than become something new and live. But the adaptable man has no such pride. He wears and discards masks at will. He kills his past self again and again, each time reborn sharper, stronger, more untouchable, and this is why he wins. His enemies fight yesterday's version of him, not realizing he is already transformed. They prepare for the honest man and find a deceiver. They prepare for the merciful man and find a ruthless executioner. They prepare for the lion and instead the fox slips away. They are always one step behind, always fighting a ghost of what he used to be. The unfair advantage of adaptability is invisibility. Your enemies cannot strike what they cannot define. They cannot trap what does not remain still. They cannot defeat what has already changed before the battle begins. Most men, when they change, are forced by desperation. They adapt only when cornered, when survival demands it. By then it is too late. True power lies in adapting before necessity, in shifting before the storm arrives, in moving before the blow is struck. That is foresight, the highest form of adaptability. Imagine a chessboard. The rigid player repeats the same opening, the same moves, the same strategy. His opponent studies him, predicts him, traps him. But the adaptable player never plays the same game twice. He shifts, he surprises, he learns, he evolves. The rigid player becomes predictable. The adaptable player becomes unstoppable, and so it is in life. The man who adapts gains the unfair advantage not because he is stronger, but because he is unpredictable. He creates fear because no one knows what he will become tomorrow. His enemies are paralyzed, unsure whether they face kindness or cruelty, honesty or deception, fox or lion. This uncertainty is his shield, and it is unbreakable. It's like being able to read a book written in a foreign language without knowing either the language or how to read. How is it possible? You ask yourself. It's all thanks to a special technique called unlocking the foreign language code. Now let me tell you about some of the benefits you'll gain from practicing this adaptability skill. Benefit no. 1. Become the master of any situation. Picture this, you walk into a room full of people you've never met before. There's chatter and laughter, but as soon as you enter, the noise fades away. All eyes are on you. The room is now your stage, and whatever happens next depends on your ability to adapt quickly to this new environment. Whether it's a job interview, a first date, or a networking event, being adaptable helps you make a great first impression. For example, imagine you're on a date and your date says something that really upsets you. Now 2 paths open up before you. The inflexible path would have you reacting angrily, perhaps even storming off. But the flexible path? It's all about understanding and adapting. You take a deep breath, listen intently, and respond in a way that builds understanding. As you navigate this new situation, you realize that adaptability isn't just a skill, it's a superpower. You can turn any challenging situation into an opportunity for growth, connection, or learning. So remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, be adaptable. It's the key to unlocking any situation. Benefit number 2, go further than others. When we set out on a journey, whether it's a physical one like traveling to a new country or a metaphorical one like starting a new job, we often do so with a plan. We pack our bags, learn a few key phrases in the local language, and mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. But here's the thing, no matter how thorough our preparation is, there will always be unexpected turns, unforeseen obstacles, and moments that test our resilience. Take traveling abroad, for instance. You might have planned your route down to the minute, but a simple detour or a last-minute flight change can completely alter your schedule. How you respond in such situations is where adaptability comes into play. A rigid mindset might lead to frustration and despair, but with adaptability, you roll with the punches. You adjust your expectations, find creative solutions, and make the most of whatever situation you find yourself in. And that's the beauty of adaptability. It allows you to go further than others because you're not confined by the rigidity of your plans. You're free to explore, to learn, and to grow beyond what you ever thought possible. So the next time you embark on a journey, whether it's a literal one or a figurative one, embrace the unexpected. Be adaptable and watch as you go further than you ever thought you could. Benefit number 3, make better decisions. Imagine standing at a fork in the road, 2 paths stretching before you, each promising something different, something uncertain. This is the essence of decision-making. Every choice we make, big or small, places us at a crossroads. With adaptability as our guide, we approach these decisions with a clear mind and an open heart. Instead of clinging tightly to a single course of action, we allow ourselves to consider multiple perspectives, weigh the pros and cons, and ultimately choose the path that aligns best with our values and aspirations. Let's take, for example, choosing a career. A rigid mindset might drive you to stick with a safe, familiar career path regardless of your true passions. But with adaptability, you have the freedom to explore your interests, to try out different fields, and ultimately to make a decision that feels right for you, even if it's unconventional. Moreover, adaptability equips you with the resilience to handle whatever comes your way. Whether you face setbacks, unexpected changes, or challenges, you're prepared to adjust your course, learn from the experience, and emerge even stronger than before. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, big or small, remember the power of adaptability. Embrace the uncertainty, explore your options, and choose the path that resonates with your true self. And those are just 3 of the many benefits of adaptability. But if you want to accelerate your learning, sharpen your skills, and achieve mastery faster, here's what you need to do. Find someone who has mastered this skill. Seek out mentors, read books, watch videos, or attend workshops led by individuals who embody adaptability. Immerse yourself in their teachings and learn from their experiences. Put in the work. Learning is not a passive process. It requires active participation and effort. So put in the work, practice consistently, and challenge yourself to apply the principles of adaptability in real-world situations. Reflect and refine your thinking. Take the time to examine your own biases, beliefs, and thought patterns. Reflect on your experiences and be willing to refine your thinking as you learn and grow. Remember, the path to mastery is a journey, not a destination. So enjoy the process, celebrate your progress, and never stop learning. By doing so, you'll unlock the full potential of your mind and achieve levels of adaptability you never thought possible.